So you're moving to Ontario and maybe you're thinking of Oakville being a place you want to call home. Well, in today's video, I'm actually going to talk about the 5 top neighborhoods that people look at when they're coming into Oakville, and we're going to go over the reasons why these areas are really popular amongst those who are choosing Oakville to be their home. And we're going to jump into that right now. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Nasira Jamal. I'm a local realtor right here in the Greater Toronto area with the Canada Realty Group. Now, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living, working, playing, eating, sleeping, and even Oakville as being maybe a place you call home, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn your notification on so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Honestly, I get calls every single day from people who are relocating here, moving here, and I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about coming into Toronto, maybe picking Oakville as one of those areas that you may consider calling home, then give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. You can even send that pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back when you're moving into the Greater Toronto area. So when you're moving into any new area, it's always good to find out what are some of the top neighborhoods in any particular city. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 5 top neighborhoods in Oakville. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first one is called Old Oakville. Now, as the name kind of gives you an idea, it is part of the older section in the downtown area. It's located near lakefront. You're going to get a very pretty, charming area with a lot of history behind it. Now, Old Oakville really is home to some of the best historic homes. And if you like that kind of history, you'll find that the homes actually have plaques on them at the outside of who was living there and even what their occupation might have been, like shoemaker or whatever that was back in the day. You will find that there is a lot of history in this area, and you're going to find a lot of amenities as well. So because you're close to historic downtown, you're going to have art galleries, cafes, top-end upscale restaurants. You also have access to parks and green space. This is one of the main reasons that people love this particular section, is because you have accessibility to all of the things that you would want, not just related to work. Now, what does this mean in terms of your commute? Now, about if you're working in downtown Toronto, you're going to be 10 minutes to the GO train station. If you take the GO train to downtown Toronto, you're looking at about 35 to 40 minutes. And really, it's a easy hop and skip if you're not driving. However, if you are using your car, you are going to find that during rush hour, it's going to take you upwards of an hour to get to the downtown core. But again, this is just part of living in any large city. If you're trying to get to the downtown Toronto area from Oakville, you are going to find that during rush hour, you're going to have to allow extra time. The thing to note in this area is the pricing of homes. You have to have a pretty large pocketbook. You're looking at, upwards of $5 million in the area. These are expansive homes. They are not expensive, I said expansive, so they are larger. And like I said, being that it's in this particular area, you are going to have a little bit of a pricier, a higher price point, sorry. Also, people that love this area sometimes are professionals who may be, traveling for work. So to Pearson, you're looking at about 25 minutes drive. So again, very accessible. You do have the GO train station. So for transportation, for public transportation, it's great. And also, as I mentioned, you've got access to all of the amenities that you would be looking at, like the restaurants. You also have access to the marinas. Now, Oakville is known for its lakefront. You are close to Lake Ontario. And for a lot of people, whether you own a boat or not, they love the idea that there is a marina nearby. You can go and, picnic in the area. There's walking trails. There's a lot to do by Lakeshore. So again, this area does really, really well for people Even if you don't live in this area, you'll find a lot of people coming to this area, especially on weekends in the summer, to access the boats and the marinas. So Old Oakville is a lakefront community. So if that's what you're looking for, you definitely want to make sure you check this out. Number 2, let's talk about Joshua Creek. Now, this is one of the newer communities in Oakville. There were 2 phases actually. One was starting to build in the 1990s, and then the second phase was starting to build in the 2000s. You do have some of the newer homes. However, you will still see that in this area, there are still the large trees and more developed area. So you will still get that charm of an older town with some of the homes that are newer in construction. You're gonna find larger, expansive open floor plans. A lot of these homes are now being renovated. For a lot of people, you know, they're getting into renovating the kitchens and bathrooms and updating floors. This area is very popular amongst those that have children. So if you're here with a family and you want to be sort of in a very stable area, you have access to parks, you have access to green space, also amenities. GO train station is only 10 minutes away. So for commuters, this is a perfect location to get to downtown Toronto. Like I said, it's going to take you about 35 to 40 minutes to get to Union Station from the GO train station. For those that are traveling using their vehicles, this is a great area. You have accessibility. You're very conveniently located to close to the QEW, which is the Queen Elizabeth Way, as well as the 403. So if you're going to be commuting and using your vehicle, this is a great pocket because you've got access to the highways. As I mentioned, this is a very family-oriented area. You'll find in this area kids playing on the streets. You know, you'll see them playing ball hockey and things like this. So for families that have children, again, as I mentioned, this is a very popular area, and you do have access to primarily detached homes, but there are some semi-detached homes as well as smaller bungalows. A lot of the homes in this area are 2-story, and you will find that there's 1 condo building. So depending on what your budget is and what type of home you're looking for, Joshua Creek might be one of those areas you need to check out if you're thinking about living in Oakville. The other highlight for Joshua Creek for children, with families with children, is it is in one of the top-rated high schools is in this area called Iroquois Ridge. So if you've got children in high school and you're looking at where to, which area or what school to look at, that might be one to check out. Now, the Fraser report is a great website or to look at in terms of ratings for schools. So, you know, check out all the different areas as well as what the rating is for the schools that you're considering in the area or neighborhood that you're thinking about living. But in this area, this is one of the popular high schools that a lot of families look at if their children are going to high school. And in this area, you're only 10 minutes from downtown. So if you still want to be close to that historic charm and having access to all of the amazing upscale restaurants and cafes, you're only 10 minutes away. Okay, so let's talk about area number 3. It's called Morrison, also known as East Lake. One of the things you need to know about this is probably one of the most affluent areas in the Oakville area, and it has upscale homes, a lot of custom builds. You're looking at, if you're on the water here, upwards $10 million plus, depending on, you know, size of home and the renovations or any of the updates that have been done. So this is definitely a more expensive area, but for those that are looking for an exclusive community to live in, Morrison might be one that you definitely want to check out, even if it's just to drive by. Now, Morrison, for those that live in this area, typically are commuting to work, or if they're going out in terms of getting out of the Morrison area, typically are using QEW and 403. So again, access to highways is great for this particular pocket. And also you have access to green space, walking trails, and some of the best schools that are known. And I will put a link in the description for checking out the school ratings from the Fraser report. But you know, for private and public schools in the Morrison area, you've got some of the best schools that are noted for Oakville. Morrison boasts lakefront properties, lakefront, walking trails. You've got some of the most beautiful gardens. In fact, you also have Gerlach Gardens, which you must check out because it's probably one of the most beautiful gardens I've ever seen. So that's, again, right within this neighborhood. So you have access to some of the most beautiful landscape. and you have access to some of the finest dining options. Now, I love talking about food. You have access in terms of, going to downtown to get into some of the restaurants and cafes, but Morrison also has some very, very good upscale dining options. Let's talk about area number 4, called Bronte. Bronte's harborfront features a mix of housing options. So this is really good if you're looking at more options in terms of townhouse complexes, smaller cottages. You've got semi-detached as well as detached homes. Bronte's also known for really the urban dweller who wants to be close to amenities and also have access to lakefront. Now, this area is really, I would say in terms of the affordability factor, probably a little bit more affordable because you do have options on type of housing here. So one to check out, again, if you're looking at being close to waterfront, you want to be close to the GO station if you're commuting to downtown. And also it has a great transit system. Oakville actually does have a really good transit system if you're looking for that as well. For some quick shopping, you can also find Bronte Village Mall. So for those that really want to be close to their shopping areas and restaurants, along with all the other amenities like parks and schools, this particular neighborhood does really, really well. And we find that homes that come up in Bronte actually move really fast. If you want an Oakville address, Bronte is probably a very good place to start looking. But the thing is, in this area, because it is a little bit more affordable, there's a lot more people buying. So you just have to be sort of quick to find the home or to look at the home as soon as it comes on the market, because there are probably more buyers in this area looking. And so, it just is a little bit more competitive. Bronte also has a waterfront park. So for those that really like to enjoy your weekends by going, in the summer especially, going to have a picnic by the water, this is a great little area. It also has amazing dining options. There are some restaurants that are, you'll have lakeside views. A lot of these upscale restaurants, of course, you're going to need reservations, but these are the highlights of why people love Oakville. Before I get to the 5th area, 5th neighborhood, if you are enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button. That helps me get this video out to many more people who are perhaps considering moving to the Oakville area. So I would really appreciate that. Now, the 5th area is called College Park, and it's probably one of the younger neighborhoods, and that's thanks to all the students that go to Sheridan College, which is located in this area. So if you have children that are perhaps moving in from high school to college, this may be a great area for you to look at if you want your kids to stay at home and still have access to a very, very good college. This area is also a little bit more affordable. It has access to the QEW, the 403. So if you're using your car to get in and out of the area, also for commuting, you've got the GO train station very close. So again, this area does really well, similar to Bronte, where a lot of people look at College Park as a starting point in Oakville. You have options in terms of housing here. So you've got townhouses, you've got detached homes, semi-detached homes. So again, your affordability is better here, so you will have more options to that. And this is a great area for families. Now for shopping, you've got Oakville Mall here. Again, this is an indoor mall, and you know how much I love indoor malls. If you're moving to Canada, it's really important to know where is the indoor mall where you're moving to. The reason is our winters are extremely cold, as I've mentioned in many of my videos, and you don't want to park and walk outside shop to shop. Now we do have some outdoor mall style, California style shopping areas, but truly you will appreciate an indoor mall when you live in Canada and you've got, minus 40 degrees with blizzards and snowstorms and all of that going on. It's nice to know that in this area you've got access to Oakville Mall, which has some amazing stores, high-end, mid-range. Also, you've got your Walmart and your dollar stores and things like that. So again, access to this is amazing if you're living in this area, and people love the fact that there's indoor parking, like me. For those looking for rest and relaxation, this area boasts a beautiful golf course. Now, Oakville Golf Club is located in this area, so whether you are an avid golfer looking at taking up golf or just like being near a golf course, this is a perfect neighborhood because it's in your backyard. So those are the 5 areas that you may want to consider if you're moving into the Oakville area. If you're thinking about even coming into the Greater Toronto area, and maybe Oakville is just one of those areas that you've highlighted or shortlisted, but you also want to check out other neighborhoods, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Remember, you can even send that pigeon carrier. I've got your back when you're moving into the Greater Toronto area. Until the next video, I'll catch you later.